Welcome to Trading Lounge for the European indices for the 18th of January, and for the DAX here on the daily chart, we're looking at the move down here as being a wave 4 low in place here, or the alternative count was A, B and C move back to the 38.2% retracement level, which is on the on this level here at 11,000. I think that we can pretty much call the low in here now, because it appears that we're looking at an impulse wave to the upside. It's still not a sort of 100% clear yet, but it's certainly the weight of it's moving to that direction. So we can put this wave 1 and wave 2 into place here for this. So we can remove that wave 4, or at least make this, let's just make this wave 4 here a little bit lighter on for the time being. And we can remove, just use this. I might need to chill that out a little bit and come down 1 degree of structure, but we'll look at that soon. I'll just move these out of the way, don't need that. So that bias is looking nicer to the upside now, so we'll go in and have a look at that. So in a nutshell, we're looking for something like that. Let me just save that. So that bias is shifting now, which is great. So just on the 4-hour chart here, we're looking at it like this, with 1 and 2 in here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here for the third wave, across for the fourth, and up for the fifth. So we'll be looking at move up here, and then we'll see, you know, as I talk about it a lot, I talk about the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the corrective move, and then up here, and this is where we come in over this side over here. Sure, we can trade this up here, but just know where we are within the bigger pattern. That's all you need to do. So that's fine. So I'll just save that, and we'll go into the hourly chart and look at possible. So, okay, that's already moved through. So just from wave 4 low here, wave 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it clears it okay here, but on the French market it doesn't clear it as much, so a bit of overlapping wave structure, but we'll still run with it for the time being. But all in all, we're looking for this impulse wave to the upside. So yeah, probably let's just, there's 2 places that will become critical here. One is the 50, the 11,050, and the other one is a minor level, which we can put in a little bit darker there, and then minor level 2 here. I'll do for the time being. So yeah, you know, if you're day trading, this is just a very short trade up through here, so be mindful of that. And yeah, we might only get to the 1150, so look at coming over here, and I'll just put this in here of taking profit here. And then, you know, once this finishes here, then we can look at moving in for the longer trend. We'd also want the S&P to play out in its space as well with all of that. It's more likely to be here, but anyway, we can adjust that later. That's what that looks like. Okay, and the French market is much the same. If I can just drag that across here, so we're looking at it in a positive light. We've already had this one here before, didn't we? We had one under here, I think, and one under here, so we can go long. You can go long on that one if you like, and you can even put the stop up a little bit higher in there if you like as well. Once again, the 9's important. Look, maybe it pushes up higher. I mean, obviously we need it pushing up above this this previous high here, so the 48.50 is going to be a resistance area. But the thing is that markets like big numbers, and now that it's dealt with number 8 here, because we call 8 a profit-taking number, so it's done its business here, and that's sort of flushed everything out, and we want to, and we'll see it higher now. So I mean, if I was looking at Wyckoff's work, well, then would look at the distance in time here and stand it on its head here, and would be up at 5,000, and it's not that far out either, because markets tend to like looking at large numbers, and people start sort of building into that space. So once traders recognise that it's actually leaving the station here at number 8, station 8, then they'll recognise this, and it'll start moving quite quickly through here. Okay, so the UK is pretty much the same in its own little way. So we were looking, once again, we were looking at this down from the high up here as an A and a B and a C wave down here, with a possible fourth wave here, and down for the fifth wave here. So I'll put that in a lighter color now, wave 3 here. I'm just going to move this wave 4 over here, but now we can look at this with a move up into here, and then an A and a B and a C here, and then looking for it to move up higher here. So let's just move that little 4 further out of the way here, and we can look at this, copy this here as, I might have to drop this down a degree of structure, but just for the time being here, whoops-a-daisy, just for the time being here, we'll just leave it like this here. But sometimes wave 1s are quite small, so that's why I'm labeling it like that. So we'll just leave it like that for the time being. And on the 4-hour chart here, I'll need to change this. So I'll just go straight in now and do this. And we can look at this as, did I get that there? Yep. Wave 3 there, and we'll copy that. It's wave 4 and wave 5. So we can move that. I mean, the thing I like about this now too, and I'll just move that out of the way. The thing I like about this is it's pulled back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree in here. And it's also pulled back nicely too in terms of an ABC correction. So I'll just save that, clean that up, and we're looking for, this is lagging a little bit. This one's really quite a long way from its high. So this is what we'd call a following market. There's leaders and there's followers. The followers are safer trades, but they don't range as much as the leaders. So the leaders are more high risk, where people are getting in earlier, and pushing that market. So yeah, either or is good. And on the 1-hour chart here, I've already sort of labeled it as 1 and 2. Well, yep, that's not quite right either, but that's okay. I can come back and get that. Still leaves us with wave 4 over here. We already had wave 4 as an alternative, pulling down to this little area here, as we had with this little drawing here, but that's okay. So yeah, as an A wave, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in here, and then it'll be 5 down here. So we should push up from here, okay, and make a new high there. So if that's something that interests you, then you can move into that there. Keep the stop. You could probably put the stop closer here, in fact. You could probably put it there, but what I'm a little bit afraid of is building in the first instance. Well, there's an impulse wave in here, and then there'll be back here, and then there'll be another impulse wave here, which is underway, and then there'll be 4, and then there'll be 5, and then we'll see a little A, B, C back here again. So I don't want it to clipping this out here, clipping our ticket here. Brokers are already clipping tickets. So like that. So we'll just move this out of the way for the time being, So you still need your 1% risk within all of that there, and then we can halve that 1% as soon as we move into here. But if you're trading contracts, then I suggest you have a look at well, what I feel is one of the best money management systems for contracts, which is on, if you go to our trades page, so in the members area, go to the trades page, and I built in a calculator to the right hand side for indices and Forex, and that calculator shows you how you can, the more contracts you have, the less percentage you risk. So it's a fantastic system, and then there's also some explanations in there on how that works as well. So definitely have a look at that. Alrighty, whoops, forgot about beautiful Italy. So let's just have a look. Italia, where are we here? So look here, we're pretty much on track here, haven't we? We've it's funny, and the funny thing is that normally the other markets are the ones that are sort of holding nice and got nice form and shape, but this one here has held the best shape out of a lot of them, with a beautiful like third wave coming in here, and then we were looking for the fourth wave as an ABC, pulling back to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, and then building up. So yeah, so the A wave here, B wave here, C wave here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we could finish early here, but if I've made a mistake, then it will be up here for 1 and back for 2 and 3, because some of those other markets have got further to go. So it's possible for this to move up in here. But the main point here, if you're long, I don't think we put a trade out on this. Maybe take profit at the 20,000. Because taking profits at the levels is, selling into the highs is logical, because if you know the trading levels, then you will know that there's, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's certainly up in the up in the 90s somewhere, that there will be some type of correction here. And if you've taken your money when you've got there, then your mind is free to go and do other things. But if you stay there, all you're going to see is it's going to attach you to that number, to the market, and you don't want that. I'll just have a look on the hourly chart. I didn't update the hourly chart today, so yeah, so I haven't done anything with this for a little while, the hourly chart, but yes, I mean, here you can see the A wave. Well, we can just put that here, can't we? A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, and possibly 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. This has still got a little way to go here, because even in this structure we've got 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2, so we can look from this point here and go 1 and 2, and that's 3 there on the spike, back for 4 here, up for 5. So that will be the third wave up, and then there'll be the fourth, and then here. So this is our target here, 19.8. That was the safest target. So I'll just save that, and I'll just go back to the 4-hour chart. So we've got 19.5 here, which is important, and then we've got 5, and then we've got 8 here. That's close enough. So copy that. At least take 50% at the 1800 here, or there if you're there. But yeah, look, the good news is that this is looking bullish. That's the great news about all of this, and we will either have the ABC back in here, as I've got it here, or we'll have it from here as such, or we may even end up with a situation where I'm totally wrong for whatever reasons, and we go up here and have our little first high above the level, and then we have our little ABC correction here. It doesn't matter which one of these it is, but we need that pattern wherever it is. Then we can get our long trades happening. If it's above the level, we can go from there or here or wherever it may be. That's the gist of it. So because we've got 5 waves here, that means after a correction, we're going to get another 5 waves. So all good news. We just need to buy the pullback. If you stay in the market here, then you need to accommodate any of that pullback here. So it's money and it's risk, and it's a little bit unnecessary. There's other things to do. Yeah, other things to do, like try and work out what's actually driving this market. I know it's being picked up by the US, but you know, what sector's leading this here? I don't know the Italian market at all. So, you know, is it finance? Is it retail? Or is it manufacturing? You know, I'm not sure. So you need to find the leading stocks within those. Alrighty, cheers.